Hello students, good morning. So today in the session we are going to discuss about training and development and some other concepts relating to training and development. So before going to today's concepts, let's discuss about what was done in the previous session. Okay, so in the previous session we discussed about selection. We discussed about selection process. This is a preliminary screening. Then under that, selection tests. So under selection test there were intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test, trade test, and interest test. So after once the person who is an applicant finishes up with the test, he will have to or if he is really eligible, or if he clears this test, then he goes to the interview where there is a direct face-to-face interaction between the employer. Okay, so once he clears up with the interview, the next one is reference and background check, where under reference and background check, in order to know about the applicant and its background, there are certain things which will be done by the employer. So in order to know about the applicant, what they do is like they collect the information of that particular applicant. Okay, so that is why this reference and background check is used, so in order to know about the employee or the applicant. So after this, the next one is selection decision, where they decide regarding whether that particular candidate has to be selected or rejected. So once if he is selected, he will be sent to the sent for the medical examination. So medical examination is to know that the person who is a candidate is fit physically as well as mentally fit to do that particular job which will be assigned. So after that, it's like job offer, where the employee who is medically and physically fit is given with the job opportunity. So after that, the last one is contract of employment, where the employee and the employer gets into contract relating to the work or that particular job. So in today's session we will be discussing about training and development. So what is this training and development? So training, it is a process of teaching the new or the present employee. It is a process of teaching the new or the present employee the basic skill they need to efficiently perform the job. So it is nothing but the process of teaching the new or the present employee the basic skills they need to effectively perform their job. So it is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee. It is an act of increasing the knowledge as well as the skill of the employee in order to make him more efficient or effective in performing the job. So training becomes very important for each and every employee in the organization. So only when the employee in the organization is efficient enough, his work gets done in a proper manner. So training, it is a process of teaching the new employee or the existing employee the basic skill they need to effectively perform the job. So it is an act of increasing the knowledge. So when training is provided to the employee, it increases the knowledge as well as the skill of employee for doing the job. So when an employee is trained, when an employee is trained, what happens is it increases his or her knowledge in doing that particular job. So if he is not trained in a proper manner, if he's not trained in a proper manner, then what happens is like he is not he does not have or he will not have that particular knowledge of doing that particular work efficiently. So on the other hand, when he is trained, he will have ideas regarding how that particular work can be done in a proper manner. ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ training important ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It is a process of teaching the new or present employees the basic skill they need to effectively perform. They need to effectively perform their job. So it is an act of increasing the knowledge and skill. So it is an act of increasing the knowledge as well as the skill of employee for doing his or her job. So it is like it is said that if you wish to plan for a year, sow seeds. If you wish to plan for 10 years, plant trees. Yeah. So if you wish to plan for a lifetime, develop people. So here it says that when you plan for a lifetime, then it is very important that you will have to develop the people. So training and development is an attempt to improve the current or future employee, like I told you, the performance for increasing an employee's ability to perform through learning. So usually by changing the employee's attitude or increasing his or her skills and knowledge, performs ability to perform through learning, usually by changing the employee's attitude or increasing his or her skill and knowledge. Okay, so this is important concept. So when coming to training is an organized procedure. It is an organized procedure by which the knowledge, ability, competence, skill, personality and productivity is increased. It is it is an organized procedure. Yeah, it is an organized procedure by which the competence, the ability, knowledge, maybe personality, skill and productivity of an employee is increase. So it makes the employee overall efficient to do the job available in the organization. So the next concept is importance of training and development. So what is the importance of training and development? What is the importance of training and development? So when the jobs were simple, easy to learn and influenced to only small degree by technological changes, yes, there was little need for employees to upgrade or alter their skills. So when the work or the job is very simple, it is not really important to have a training for an employee. Why? Because when the work is very simple, it becomes easy for them to know about that particular work or learn that particular job in a proper manner. So but what happens is, like, when there is a rapid change, there is a technological change, then what happens is, like, it becomes very difficult for the employee to get adjusted to the new technological changes. Yeah, so during the last quarter century, yes, okay, so what happens is, like, the society, it became complicated, or it became complex, and have created increased pressures for organizations to readapt the products and services produced. So the manner in which products and services are produced are offered. The manner in which products and services are produced and offered. So the types of jobs required and the type of skills necessary to complete this job becomes very important. So like I told you, when the job is relatively small, then there is no necessity of having training or anything. But when the environment totally changes, then it is very important that the employer, the type of employee should be exact to the type of job available in the organization. So not just employee is enough, it should be skilled enough to complete those job available in the organization. So not just completing, but also completing the job in a efficient manner is very important. So as jobs have become more complex, the importance of employee training has increased. So as the jobs have become more complex, so day by day the jobs are becoming complex. Yeah, so ದಿನದಿಂದ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತಿದೆ, ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So as the jobs are becoming complex, then the importance of employee training is also increasing. So the training and development help both the organization as well as the individual. So individual growth ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and on the other hand ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು training and development. So the employee has to be trained in order to see that the organization is providing or putting all its the employee is putting all its efficiency towards the organization. So what are the benefits of training and development to the organization? So like I told you, training and development helps both the organization as well as the individual. So what are the benefits of training to the organization? So the first one is training is a systematic learning, always better than it and trial method, which lead to wastage of money. So training, it is supposed to be a systematic learning, so you exactly learn what a particular thing has to be done, or what has to be done in the organization, or how the equipments or machines in the organization has to be used. So rather than going on with trial and error method, so when you go on with trial and error method or it and trial method, what happens is like there is a lot of wastage of money as well as effort which takes place. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರರ್ ನೋಡುವಾಗ, ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರರ್ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನಿ ಕೂಡ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಸ್, he will finish that particular work in the ಅಸೈನ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಸೊ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹಾಗೆ ಅವನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ he has the exact knowledge regarding what has to be done. Okay, the second one is it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality. It enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality, leading to higher profit. So when an employee is trained in the organization, or when an employee in the organization is provided with proper idea regarding how a particular thing has to be done, it is when he is trained in a proper manner, it increases both the quantity as well as the ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಅವನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಅವನು ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಅವನ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅವನ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅವರ quality kuda increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Why? Because he is specialized in that particular work which he is doing. He is trained to do that particular job. So what he does that particular job without any delay, exactly like how he has learned. So ಅವನು ಈಗ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕೂಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ training equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. So sometimes in case of emergency there are chances that one person, that is the other person, has to take the role of a manager. Okay, so when an employee is trained efficiently or effectively, when an employee in the organization is trained properly, it helps or it equips the future manager who can take over in ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಏನೋ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಬಂತು ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ, ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ದು ಕೆಲಸ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಅವರ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ವಿಪ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಹೂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಬರುವಾಗ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಆಗೋನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The third one is training equips, the fourth one is training increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. Okay, so when the employee is trained, in the organization, one is it increases the employee morale, it increases the morale of the employee, yeah. So one is it increases the morale of the employee, the second one is it reduces the absenteeism as well as the employee turnover. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟಿಸಮ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರು ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ he is efficient, he works in an effective manner, so according to the work which is done by him, he will be paid with remuneration. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊರಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟಿಸಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟಿಸಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ಮೊರಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಗಳು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಒನ್, that is it helps in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment, technological and economic. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ when the employee in the organization is trained, it helps in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ impact on the business organization. So this, that is the training, will help in obtaining effective response to fast changing environment. So they take effective response when it comes to ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೆಸೆಸರಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇಗ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ concept is benefits to the employee. So what are the benefits of or the advantages of training and development to employees? So ಹೇಗೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, how is that helpful to the employee? So the first one is improved skill and knowledge due to training lead to better career of individual. Yeah, so the first one is improved skill. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, when training is given to the employee or when development process is done to the employee, that increases the skill and knowledge of the employee. It increases the skill and knowledge of the employee. Okay, so that in turn will lead to have a better career of an individual. So ಅವನ ಕೆರಿಯರನ್ನು ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ಆ ಏನು ಅವ್ನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವನ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಲೆಜ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನ ಕೆರಿಯರನ್ನು ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಕೆರಿಯರ್ನ ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮುಂದೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಟು ಬೆಟರ್ ಕೆರಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಏನು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ದು ಕೆರಿಯರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಹಿಮ್ to earn more. Increased performance by the individual help him to earn more. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನು ಟ್ರೈನ್ಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಫರ್ಟನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ when he performs well in the organization, then he will be paid more. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನ ಎಫರ್ಟನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸೆಂಟಿವ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್, ಅವನ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, yes, when his performance increases. So increased performance by the individual help him to earn more. So when he puts more of his effort, when he gives a very good performance, then it will help him to earn more in the business organization. Okay, the third one is training makes the employee more efficient to handle machines, thus less prone to accident. So training ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they will be provided all the information regarding how the machines and tools in the organization has to be used. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮಿಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮೋರ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಮೆಷಿನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ಮೇ ಆಕರ್ ವೈಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಮಿಷನರಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಇನಫ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ದಿ ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಮಿಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ training increases the satisfaction and morale of employees. Training, it increases the satisfaction and morale of employees. Satisfaction and morale of employees. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಇಂಥದ್ದು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಮೊರೇಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಬ್ಸೆಂಟಿಸಮ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ increases the satisfaction of the employee. So when he is trained in a proper manner, he does his work in a proper manner, he will get that satisfaction of finishing that particular work. And also it increases the morale of the employee in the organization. So this is all about the benefits to the organization as well as the employee. So training, development and education. So when it comes to training, development and education, so the term training is used to indicate the process by which attitudes, skill and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. Yeah, so but when it comes to the development, so when coming to training, it is a process by which attitude, skill and ability of employee to perform certain kind of job or specific jobs are increased through the help of training. Okay, so when it comes to development, it means growth of an individual in all respect. Yeah, so it is nothing but growth of individual in all respect. So training in short term process, but it is a short term process. Training is a short term process, but development is totally ongoing process. It is totally ongoing process. Okay, so the development also it includes training. So bari training ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, development ಅಲ್ಲಿ training ಕೂಡ include ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it also needs to be understood that training, education and development are distinct terms, although they overlap to some extent. So they are distinct, they are different terms. Yes, so even though they overlap to some extent, they are different. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನ ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, ಅವನ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುವಾಗ ಅವನ individual overall growth of individual. Yes, overall growth of individual. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ difference ಇದೆ. So let's come to training. So what is training? So training is a process by which the aptitude, skill and ability of employee to perform specific jobs are increased. It is nothing but a process by which aptitudes, skills and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. Is any process by which the aptitudes, skills and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are increased. So it is a process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. It is a process of learning new skills and application to it is a process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. Process of learning new skills and application of knowledge. So it attempts to improve their performance on the current job. It attempts to improve their performance on the current job and prepare them for any intended job. So it is nothing but increasing the skill and ability of the employee to do a particular job or to perform a particular job. Increasing the skill. So ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದರ ಏನು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್. Okay, so education, it is a process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of employee. Education is the process of increasing the knowledge and understanding of employee. So it is the understanding, it is the understanding and interpretation of knowledge. So it does not provide definite answers. It does not provide definite answers, but rather develops a logical and a rational mind. And rational mind. So it does not provide definite answers, but it rather develops a logical and rational mind that can determine relations among pertinent variables and thereby understand a phenomenon. So what the education does is, or the role of education is like, it imparts the quality of mind and character. It imparts quality of mind and character and understanding of the basic principles and develop the capacities of analysis. Okay, so education is broader in scope than training. Training is tied to the goals of the organization more than the goals of the individual. So education, it seems to be broader than that of training. So it has a broader scope than training. So training is tied to the goals of the organization more than the goals of the individual. So it is not the goals of the organization. So training is done in order to increase the efficiency of the organization, or in order to achieve the objective of the organization. So it is tied to the goals of the organization. So training is provided to the employee only to reach the objectives or goals of the organization, and not concentrating on the goals of the individual. Okay, so education, it is a process of increasing the knowledge and understanding. Yes, so employee ಇದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಾಲೆಜನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ಡ್ ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ employees grow. It refers to the learning opportunities designed to help employees grow. Okay, so it covers not only those activities which improve job performance. It covers those activities that is, it covers not only those activities which improve job performance, but also those which bring about growth of the personality. It covers not only those activities which improve the job performance, but also those which brings about growth of the personality, helps individual in the progress towards maturity and actualization of their potential capacity, so that they become not only good employees but better men and women. Why? Because the personality, that is the growth of the personality, is made here. Yes, not only the improvement in job performance, but also the growth of the personality, that is the growth of maturity or actualization of their potential capacity. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಂಥದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅವನ ಅವನ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಾಲಿಟಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅವನ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದೇ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ become good employees but also a better men and women. So the field of training and development concerned with improving deals with designs and delivery of learning to improve performance within the organization. Okay, so the next concept is like difference between training and development. So what are the difference between training and development? The first one is, when coming to training, it is a process of increasing knowledge and skills. So training, it is a process of increasing the knowledge and skills. So when it comes to development, it is the process of learning and growth. It is a process of increasing knowledge and skill. When coming to development, it is the process of learning and growth. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ನಾಲೆಜನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ It is a process of learning as well as the growth. Okay, so the second one is, when it comes to training, it is to enable the employee to do the job better. So that is the training. It helps the employee, or it enables the employee to do the job better. ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೇಗೆಂದರೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅವನು ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು spend lot of time, effort and money. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ wastage ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So when is trained, then it helps them, or it enables the employee to do the job better. Okay, so when it comes to development, it is to enable the overall growth of the employee. It is to enable the overall growth of the employee. So it enables the overall growth, not just the individual growth or the job performance, but also but the overall growth of the employee. So the last one is training. Under training, the last difference is that it is job oriented process. So training is totally job oriented process. The training is given to the employee in order to increase his efficiency. So when the efficiency of the employee increases, it increases the productivity of the organization. But when it comes to the development, it is a career oriented process. It is a career oriented process which helps him in the overall development of the employee. So this is how the training and the development process work. Okay, so in some organization the term learning and development is used instead of training and development. Okay, in order to emphasize the importance of learning for the individual and the organization. Yeah, so this is all about the training and development.